What's happening, everyone? We're 12 weeks out today from the Arnold USA, so I thought I'd give you a wee rundown of what has been happening this past week. So we've seen kind of the first kind of weight drop since 16 weeks out. My weight's been floating around the 260 mark for, well, yeah, since about the 16 week out mark. So I saw about a 1.5 pound loss. So I was noticing through the week that I could see in the mirror and stuff that I was getting tighter, which is good. Obviously, I haven't done this for quite a while. It's quite easy to spot these changes each week or day to day, because I know what I'm looking for. I can kind of keep my head right a wee bit as well, a wee bit more now that I've done this consistently for years. So it's yeah, it's quite noticeable, I'd say. So 1.5 off, quite happy with that. As for this week, in terms of training, I noticed that my recovery, probably my recovery is to do with it. But I've just been going into the sessions just feeling proper rusty. Like that's the only way I can kind of really describe it. Just like I don't feel like I'm going to pack a punch in the session, which is quite funny because I have every single session I've hit PBs. I've not regressed in any way, or I've matched kind of what I'd done the week prior. So it's nothing to be, turn your nose away at. But at 12 weeks out, like Nick just said to me there in my check-in, is that you don't want to be feeling kind of fatigue at 12 weeks out. That's far too far out. So what we're going to do is we're going to strip the volume back a wee bit. So for most exercises we do 2 sets, the second set being an intensifier, so has an intensifier. So what we're going to do instead, we're going to do 1 working set with an intensifier, and that's call it a day with that, and see kind of how it interacts with that. The next 3 sessions, so we've got shoulders today, arms tomorrow, and back on Monday. So it'll probably be the back session, stripping the volume back is going to make the biggest amount of difference. So yeah, that's the plan in terms of training going forward. I know in the prep that I just done for the Arnold UK, admittedly I didn't really give Patrick any kind of feedback as to how my training sessions were going right until the very end, but I was noticing like fatigue and not saying anything, just kind of not wanting to seem like a little bitch. I mean, but I know Nick has seen me train. Nick has seen me train for years. He knows that if I'm feeling run down, I'm run down. So I'm not just fucking bitching out of it and trying to look for ways to do less work. So that's what I felt I couldn't convey to Patrick, because I just really didn't kind of know what to say at the end of the day. To try and convey that, but like I said, Nick kind of knows me very well. So so the training volume's getting pulled back. Definitely tighter though. The good thing is that despite a bit of fatigue in the gym, I'm definitely tighter. If anyone who watched my vlog last week, you'll see that I indicated when I was going to put in my progress photos, and I didn't. So that was basically because I uploaded it, forgot I did that, and then had tons of people tagging me and saying, by the way, you didn't put in your progress photos. So I'm going to put them in now, and I promise they're going in now. So as you can see, yeah, looking a little bit tighter through my legs. Midsection looks a wee bit tighter as well. I noticed that my obliques are just a wee bit more separated, and there's a tad more detail in my arms, which you can't really see in these photos, but no, I'm very happy with kind of where things are sitting. I'm very happy with my back. So yeah, everything's kind of flowing very nicely at the moment. And the good thing is that food is still sky high. We've still got high food even on the low days. There's nothing to be shunned at. Is that a word? I don't know. So yeah, I've only got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more sessions in Scotland, and then we're away to Dubai next Sunday. So I'm going to be training in B1 Benoist Gym for the entire time. We were going to train SF, but I think Benoist is just better for networking and kind of getting your face out and all that fucking pish. But it does help, it's good to meet people and speak to new people and whatnot. So met quite a few guys last time I was in Dubai, and some good connections forged, as they say. So in terms of Dubai, obviously I wasn't planning on being in contest prep when I booked it. I was planning on having won my pro card at the Arnold, but I just approached that show going all in, really thinking I was going to win it, and that's what you have to do. There's no plan B. Not that the Arnold USA is a plan B, because if anything it's going to be a harder show than the UK. But you know what I'm trying to say. It's anyway, so Dubai was supposed to be like this kind of big nice blowout for Christmas and New Year, and anyone who's been to Dubai knows kind of like everywhere you can eat, everything you can do. It's just a bit of a playground. But I'll be on prep the entire time. I don't know what Nick has planned, but I plan on being on plan. We already booked an Airbnb anyway because we didn't want to eat out all the time. We're still kind of serious bodybuilders at heart, so eating out maybe once or twice a week would have been enough. Maybe a few things thrown in there, but we wanted the ability to kind of cook our own meals and get all that kind of stuff in. So we have got brunches planned, but obviously the menus for both are very prep safe, so that I won't be able to handle that. I've been doing this so long that it doesn't bother me at all. I mean, Glasgow right now is very cold, dark all the time, which isn't obviously the nicest environment to prep from. I will say this though, that dieting through the winter is way easier than dieting through the summer. And I think that's purely down to a few things. The number one thing is that days are short, and you want your days to be short when you're dieting and feel like shit. Not like literally short, because obviously you get up at the same time, you go to bed at the same time, but it gets dark here at like 3:30. It doesn't get light till about 9 o'clock, which it is now. So the days are very short in terms of sunlight, so you know it's not as bad. Whereas even at 4 in the morning when I get up, during the summer it's almost light, so you're getting that. The days are very, very long. It's light. It was beaming daylight when I was going to bed in June and July at 8 o'clock at night, and that's when you already have sleep problems like I do. On prep, it's very hard to get to sleep when the sun is still beaming through the curtains. So yeah, I definitely prefer this time. But obviously we're going to Dubai, and the days are short in Dubai as well, but not as. And obviously that you've got heat and sun there, so kind of feeling a wee bit better going there. When I went to Dubai in January, I felt I got leaner just from being in a hot environment all the time. So that's definitely gonna make some sort of difference. So I'm excited for that. It's just good to kind of, it essentially cuts the prep in half, down the middle, sorry, because we're going away 10 weeks out almost, and coming back just before 8 weeks out. So I've taken a good chunk out of the prep, going to an environment that's far more bodybuilding friendly. So yeah, this is going to be a quick prep. I can feel it. And then when we come back, we're 8 weeks out. So yeah, Dubai's definitely going to be a nice wee stint in the middle of this prep. So I'm very happy with that. Can't wait for that. It's just obviously all the fucking crap you have to do now just to kind of get out there. But you know, counting my blessings that I'm able to actually do that. Obviously not working for myself, and it's not a situation I thought I'd find myself in 5 years ago. Being able to kind of go away like this to Dubai twice in 1 year, so I'm very fortunate with that. So I'll be 7 weeks total in Dubai I've spent this year. Fucking rock star. So anything else to report? So yeah, we're going to increase anabolics. So I did record a blood work review video, but I wasn't happy with how I was like presenting it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to record it again on Sunday and post that. But blood work was all good, so we're going to put the anabolics back up with a green light there. So I had a 6-week cruise on 250mg of testosterone a week. Prior to that, I was doing 300mg of test prop and 300mg of MPP as part of my rebound from the show that lasted 4 weeks. So in total, I've been kind of low dose or TRT for the past 10 weeks. So yeah, I'm feeling fresh. Everything seems stable, like mood-wise. Like again, we go back to experience. Like you know when it's time to kind of pull away from the drugs, and when your mental state's kind of been tested a wee bit and all that. But no, I feel fine. So, and my blood work says I'm good. Blood pressure set at 131/60 this morning, which is slightly elevated from last week. I was 121, but we're still looking alright in terms of blood pressure. Heart scan on Tuesday. Down in Newcastle, so get to an Ultraflex. Yeah, so we're going to increase the anabolics. We're going to push the testosterone up. We're going to add in primobolan, and we're going to put the GH up as well, which my bank account is delighted for. And see kind of the results we get from that. That may help with the fatigue issue, but we don't want to mask. You don't want to mask fatigue with drugs. You want to manipulate what is causing said fatigue, and that's the training. The training volume right now is, I've probably rinsed this level of volume for this week. So it's time to just pull that back a touch, see how the body responds over the next 3 days. That's another thing, we're increasing check-ins to every 3 days, and seeing kind of if the pull back in the training kind of helps me. The fatigue feel bit. I don't feel bad, you know what I mean, but I just feel a bit like my joints and my system needs a bit of WD-40 just to kind of get going. So we'll see how that works over the next 3 days, and take it from there. So no, I'm very pleased with how things are going. It's mad. I was saying to one of my mates the other day is that it's when I remind myself I'm doing the Arnold USA, I'm like, oh, fuck, I guess I'm like, you know, I've been doing this since I was 19, and it's still kind of, I'm still in awe of certain people. I'm still, you know, very much in love with the whole process of dieting. It's not, it doesn't get old. Feeling like shit gets old, but like, you love the results. You never get tired of seeing results in your body, and that's why also bodybuilding is so addictive. You know, yeah. So that's 12 weeks out. We'll see how things are going for another week. I'm training with Greg Taylor next Friday in a warehouse in Aberdeen, because it's had a big renovation, new kit and all that, and it's actually got decent kit now compared to when I trained in it 8 years ago. So that's what's coming up this week. So we're looking forward to it, and I will remember to put those check-in photos in this time. Cheers, guys.